Here are the best gaming laptops coming out this year from 9 different companies. Let's start out with ASUS, because I think they have the biggest updates coming this year. The Zephyrus G14 has been updated to AMD's new Ryzen 6000 processors with DDR5 memory and faster PCIe Gen 4 storage. But they've ditched Nvidia this year and swapped over to AMD's Radeon RX 6000S graphics. The new G14 finally gets a camera above the screen this year, and the screen is taller too with a 16:10 aspect ratio and apparently faster screen response times, which I'll be sure to test in my full review soon. Cooling is also improved with a vapor chamber cooler this year, and there are other welcome changes like a 50% larger touchpad, and the front-facing speakers have moved to the back so they're not covered by your hands. The keyboard also now has RGB lighting instead of only white, which helps them stand out more against the white finish, though there is of course also a darker version. The lighting on the lid is also clearer now, so higher resolution images are possible. Despite all these changes, the new G14 ends up being slightly thinner than last year's, and they've also squeezed in a micro SD card slot while keeping the ports the same otherwise. ASUS also has the Zephyrus Duo 16, which improves on last year's Duo 15, again with latest specs including Ryzen 6000 processors and up to Nvidia RTX 3080 Ti graphics. The combination of a taller 16:10 16-inch screen and the lower secondary screen now sliding back closer to the main screen when you open the lid increases the immersion between the two panels, as there's just far less of a gap compared to last year. The screen also supports 4K 120Hz, but can be lowered down to 1080p 240Hz. So best of both worlds whether you're a content creator or gamer. But there's also a 1440p 165Hz mini LED option too. Pretty much every ASUS gaming laptop gets a mux switch this year, even the Tough series, which is meant to be a more budget-friendly option. So better performance in games should be possible, as this lets us disable Optimus, though it's yet to be seen how this may affect price. The Zephyrus M16 and G15 also get updated with a mux switch this year, as well as again latest CPUs and GPUs too. And same goes for the smaller 13-inch Flow X13. Speaking of small, ASUS also introduced the new Flow Z13, which is more of a tablet-like design compared to the X13's 2-in-1 design. The Z13 has the heat-generating components on the back, so air is more easily pulled in compared to a traditional laptop design where the fans are almost flat against your desk, and you can connect the XG Mobile eGPU for way more power. It's a really interesting design that no one else is offering if you're after maximum portability but still want performance from just one machine. Lenovo also has some welcome updates coming this year, though nowhere near as many. Last year, I said the Legion 5 was the best mid-range gaming laptop of 2020, so considering it was already so good, it makes sense that there's not a whole lot to improve on. This year's Legion 5 gets updated to Intel 12th Gen or AMD Ryzen 6000 processors with DDR5 memory. Apparently the cooling has been improved in the new model despite it now being 15% thinner. The keys are meant to be 33% quieter when typing, and the touchpad is slightly larger too. The screen also gets updated from 1080p 165Hz to 1440p 165Hz this year, though I'm sure the 1080p option will still be around for lower priced configurations. The ports are slightly different this year too. To summarize, one Type-A port is now a Type-C, which is probably going to be more useful going into the future considering we still get 3 Type-A ports anyway. The higher tier 5 Pro gets similar updates to the keyboard and cooling, with of course the latest Intel 12th Gen or Ryzen 6000 processors and DDR5 memory too. The screen also gets an upgrade as well. Last year we had a 16-inch 16:10 2560x1600 165Hz panel. Now this year it goes up to 240Hz. No news was provided about the higher tier Legion 7 at CES, but I've been told it's coming later, so stay tuned. Lenovo also has new RGB software for the 5 and 5 Pro this year, so I'm very keen to find out if this will also apply to the 7 too and fix the known Corsair iQ battery drain issue at last. According to both Alienware and AMD, Alienware will have the most powerful all AMD Advantage gaming laptop this year, the new M17 R5, with up to AMD's top-end Ryzen 9 6980HX processor and their new Radeon RX 6850M XT graphics. It kind of wins by default, given right now it's the only all AMD gaming laptop announced so far with this new GPU. That said, there will also be Nvidia options too. What I found weird was that despite it being a larger 17-inch model, there aren't any front-facing speakers or numpad. So there's kind of just this big unused space on either side of the keyboard. Alienware also has a smaller 14-inch model this year, the X14, so maybe some competition for the ASUS Zephyrus G14 and Razer Blade 14. This one is Intel 12th gen based with up to RTX 3060 graphics, and it's got a mux switch. All the ports are on the back, none at all on the left or right sides. The worst thing of all is there doesn't seem to be an RGB light bar on the back like other Alienware models, and that should be illegal. Dell didn't have any updates with regards to their G15, but I'd expect to see it refreshed with Ryzen 6000 processors sometime this year. Next up, MSI. In addition to updating most of their gaming laptops with Intel's new 12th gen processors and Nvidia's 3070 Ti or 3080 Ti graphics, MSI are also introducing a brand new model this year, the Stealth GS77. The GS77 is basically the newer version of the GS76 17-inch gaming laptop, and the major changes include some of the ports moving around to the back instead of only being on the sides. The touchpad is now 50% larger, the keycaps are 8% larger, and the screen hinges have moved closer towards the center. Though despite this, apparently they're now stronger. The top-end i9 configuration has MSI's new liquid metal pad on the processor, and the GE76 has this too. Compared to normal liquid metal, this remains solid until 58 degrees Celsius, at which point it liquefies when needed. MSI says this makes it easier to remove and means no leaking or maintenance compared to alternatives. Again, like Dell, there weren't any updates to their Ryzen gaming laptops, the Alpha 15, Bravo 15, or Delta 15. I'm not sure why, considering AMD announced both new CPUs and GPUs for 2022, but from what I've heard it sounds like this will come later. Razer has made some nice improvements to their Blade 14 this year, including the addition of a mux switch. The processor gets updated to AMD's latest Ryzen 9 6900HX and up to Nvidia's RTX 3080 Ti graphics. Ryzen 6000 also means faster PCIe Gen 4 storage and DDR5 memory, but unfortunately it's still limited to 16 gigs of soldered memory. No 32 gig option or further upgrades. At least the camera has been updated from 720p to 1080p. The larger Blade 15 also gets a CPU, GPU, and RAM update to current gen. Otherwise just small changes with larger keycaps, an improved hinge, and better cut speaker grills. The even larger Blade 17 gets these improvements too, but also more speakers and a 17% larger battery. XMG is bringing water cooling to the masses this year with an update to their Neo 15, which has been my favorite higher-end gaming laptop over the last couple of years. The Neo 15 laptop itself has been refreshed to Intel 12th gen processors with a possible Ryzen 6000 refresh coming later. Combined with up to Nvidia RTX 3080 Ti graphics at the maximum 175 watt power limit, the optional XMG Oasis unit can be used to add water cooling to lower temperatures, boost performance, and lower fan noise. The disconnecting process is a bit awkward, though that may improve. Regardless, the potential improvements on offer may be big, so this is one I'll be watching for updates. HP didn't have enough new content this year to justify a dedicated video. That said, their existing models will be refreshed with new CPUs and GPUs, but there aren't any new models at this time. Based on this, I'd expect the HP Victus, Omen, and probably Pavilion series to return this year as they were last year, but with fresh specs and otherwise unchanged. Like HP, Acer didn't get a dedicated video because there just wasn't enough content. However, Acer at least has new designs this year. There's just not much to say. Acer's Nitro 5 gets an update to either Intel 12th gen or AMD Ryzen 6000 processors this year. Interestingly, the Intel model gets DDR4 while the AMD model gets DDR5, probably because it doesn't seem like AMD have DDR4 support like Intel, so DDR5 would be the only choice there. The chassis also appears to have a refresh with a new look. Likewise, the higher tier Helios 300 has a new look too, though this one is still Intel only, no AMD options here. The Helios goes right up to RTX 3080 graphics with new DDR5 memory, though it's still not clear if either of these laptops gets a mux switch. I'm guessing not, or that would have been made clear. Seems like they could learn from ASUS, Alienware, and Razer this year. To be fair, they did manage to add an RGB light bar to the front though, so there's that. Gigabyte also updated their Aorus gaming series. This year they've got the Aorus 5, 15, and 17. All three are Intel 12th gen based, no AMD options at all were announced. The Aorus 5 is the more budget-friendly option and uses older DDR4 memory, which is probably cheaper too, while the higher tier Aorus 15 moves the camera above the screen this year. The nose cam is gone. Otherwise, the Aorus 17 is essentially just a larger 17-inch version and available with similar specs and features. Get more information on these gaming laptops in the rest of my CES content over here next. There are 10 different videos covering everything in way more detail. And of course, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss my upcoming full reviews and benchmarks of all of these new gaming laptops.